Hello class, this is the lecture video of chapter 12 and 13. Chapter 12 and 13 basically is about color and production. You may wonder, why should we understand color since we are designing some stuff? The importance of knowing color is that you will make sure that the beautiful project you designed in InDesign on your computer will also be printed out or displayed on any other computer in the same way as you design it. Many times you design a beautiful project on your computer, but when it prints out, it is a mess. Or when it shows up on the other computer, it is a mess. This happens mainly because we do not really understand colors. So knowing color is very important. We basically we have two types of color system. One color system is called RGB. That's mainly for the computer screens. And the other color system is called a CMYK color system, and that's mainly for print. Well, actually, for printing, we have two types of categories of colors. CMYK is one color system for printing. The other color system for printing is called spot colors. So again, RGB is for computer screens. CMYK and sport color are for printing. So what's the difference between CMYK and the sport color system? I found a small video on YouTube which really provide a very good discussion on this. So let's take a look at that video, see if I can find it here. CMYK color is also called process color. So here is the video.
Founder of Sticker Giant, and today I want to tell you about spot color printing versus 4-color process printing. By far, we're going to cover spot color printing first. By far, the most popular type of sticker we print is spot color printing. Probably 80 or 90% of our stickers are spot color. There's some advantages. Spot color stickers last longer, and they are less expensive. This is an example of a one-color sticker, black on a white sticker substrate. Zombie Compact Club, one-color sticker. This is an example, Gold's Gym, of a two-color sticker, black and yellow. Very durable, very inexpensive. Standard shape, circle. Here's an example of a 4-spot color sticker. Not 4-color process, but 4 spot colors. We have a yellow, a red, a black, and a blue in this sticker. They're all separate, and none of the colors are combined to create other colors. That's one of the characteristics of spot color printing. We don't blend the colors together very often to make other colors. This is a fantastic high-end 4-spot color sticker. It's die cut. It's on a removable white vinyl. It's got 4 special colors. A fantastic sticker. This sticker is very long-lasting sticker for my friends at Tech Cocktail. Frank Gruber, Eric Olson, great guys, make a great drink. So that is spot color printing. The advantages are it's less expensive. Okay. It's longer lasting. That ink, when we print spot color, we can print it silkscreen, so the ink is actually thicker on the substrate, so it's going to last longer in the intense sunlight, weather, that kind of thing. Going to last a long time. The other kind of printing that we do, and we do really well, is 4-color process printing. 4-color process uses the same 4 inks always: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Those 4 colors: cyan, basically light blue; magenta, it's like a dark red; yellow is yellow, and black is black. Those are combined together to make thousands of colors. An example would be this right here. This is an illustration of my friend Dave Taylor. He does online tech support. Excellent resource. 4 colors, 4-color process, combined to make thousands of colors. This is a 4-color process that I really like, Carson Fire King. Again, 4-color process: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black are combined to make thousands of color combinations. This particular sticker is for Carson Fire King. They customize helicopters. In fact, President-elect Obama flies on a Carson customized Sikorsky helicopter. This is another example of 4-color process: Stop the Social Media Voodoo. Thousands of color combinations in this sticker, but only 4 colors were used. And here is a nice cancer survivor sticker with a happy lion on it from Pennington Health Center, our customers, Cancer Center. So that's the main advantage. 4-color process is really cool. Gives you the ability to have thousands of colors when you're only using 4 colors. So you can have delicate vignettes and blends and photorealistic printing. The big disadvantage to the 4-color process is it's expensive and it doesn't last as long. The inks are put down in a very controlled and thin fashion so that we can combine them and get predictable results. But that also means the inks are thinner. They're not going to last as long in the sun and the weather and that kind of thing. These substrates for 4-color process stickers are not as durable as well. They're thinner, they're not as heavy duty because they have to run in a certain kind of environment that doesn't lend itself well to really thick substrates. So the advantages of spot color printing: cheaper, longer lasting. Okay, most stickers you see are spot color printed. The disadvantages of spot color printing are less color combinations available, and you can't get the delicate blends and vignettes that you can get with 4-color process. So 4-color process, the advantages are the flexibility in colors that you can achieve, the photorealistic printing. The disadvantages are it's much more expensive and it doesn't last as long. So that's 4-color versus spot color. I'm John Fisher, and thanks for watching.
So that is a very good video about the differences between spot color and the process color, which is also called 4 colors. You notice that in the video, the guy said that if you use spot color, the printing cost can be cheap than if you use 4 colors. That is true if you just use 1 spot color. However, that means your publication will just have a single color. If you use 2 spot color, then you may just have 2 colors in your publication. In that case, spot color can also be cheaper than 4 process colors. Well, think about it. If you have a photo, there may be thousands of colors in that photo. In that case, if you use spot color, you need to use thousands of spot colors, or you need to mix some of the spot colors to create new colors. In that case, spot color printing can be very expensive. So as a summary for you, if you are new to the color system, again, computer screens always use RGB color system, and if you create something for print, you either choose spot color if you want it to be last longer, or if you think that you only have 1 or 2 colors, that way spot color printing can save you money. Or if you want, you can choose 4 color system, which is different from spot color. So be clear about which color system you are going to use to begin with. Now let's go to InDesign. How do you find out which color you are using and which color you want to use? Okay, now let's create a project first, an object first. Let's say we're going to create we're going to create a star. To make it a perfect star, we need to press Shift and then drag. That way we're going to create a perfect star. Okay. Now we have certain colors in it. If you do not want it, you can choose active the fill, give it no color. Let's go back to swatch. Paper, so there's no color here. And now let's start to use colors. In InDesign, you have two panels that can help you to add colors to the object. One is the color panel, the other is the swatch panel. And both of them you can find it from the window color, check swatch, and you will get it out here. Let's talk about the color panel first. The color panel is a simple panel. So ideally, actually, as for professional designers, they only use swatch panel. They never use color panel. But let's see what we can do with color panel. So click on color panel. See, here is a ramp here, and there's not much color we can choose right now. So you can click here. Here you can see you can choose whether or not you're going to use CMYK color or RGB color. And let's look at RGB color first. This is the RGB color. You have three basic elements. R stands for red, G stands for green, B stands for black. This is a reflective color, which means when a RGB or reach maximum 255, then you generate a white color here. Let's select this and apply the white color to the star so that you can see it. And then when every element RGB reaches 0, you got black here. So that's the characteristic of RGB color system. When every element gets to 0, you got a black. When every element gets to maximum 255, you got a white. And between those values, you can adjust to any number you want. Many companies or organizations have their official color. To make sure that their official color will keep being the same, exactly the same, many organizations has a clear definition of their official colors. For example, I just googled and found this official color definition definition from the University of Southern California. As you can see, the official color of University of Southern California is red and yellow. For RGB system, the definition for red, let's see, RGB, here is RGB. That means R equals to 153 and the other maybe zeros. Oh, G0, B0, that's right. So let's take a look. R is 153 and the other is 0. So this will be the exact color that the USC want to have. And that's again RGB color system. Once you created the RGB color in the color panel, it's here right now. But once you close the InDesign document, you will lose this color. Next time, if you want to use this color again, you need to create this color again through this panel. And if you say, wow, I want to keep this color somewhere in this InDesign document so that I can use it from now on, I don't need to create it again, Then you need to go to this menu here, add this color to swatch. And then if you open the swatch panel, you will see this is the new color that you created. It's the RGB color you created from the color panel. In the color panel, you can also create a CMYK color. So if you go back to the USC color identification, you will see their identification of CMYK. This is not what you need to use. This is clearly something you do not use. So use C equals to 3, 7, M 100. Let's go back. C. Before we create that color, let's talk a little bit more about CMYK color. CMYK color, as stated in the video, it used to use 4 elements: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, and then you can merge them together, create thousands of colors. And this is a distractive color, which means when everything goes to E0 here, let's again select this star so that we can see the color here. When everything gets to CMYK, when everything gets to 0, you do not see a black. Instead, you see white this time. See, we see white here, white here. This is the sample of the color you created. But when every element reach maximum, which is 100 in this case, you got black. It's just the opposite to RGB color system. For RGB color system, when everything reaches to maximum, which is 255, you got white color. When every element gets to 0, you got you got black. Now here in CMYK, when every element gets to maximum, which is 100, in this case you got black. And when everything gets to 0, you got white. So those are two just opposite type of colors. Also between CM100 and 0, you can mix the CMYK, create all kinds of different colors. Like said, for USC, their CMYK definition is C equals to 7. So let's put a 7 here. And M equals to 100. Y equals to 65. K equals to 32. And that's the CMYK color red for USC. You may think that this CMYK color, I mean, look at it here, it's exactly this one, but it's quite different from the RGB color red. Does that mean USC is using 2 red color as their official color? No. They're still same. Although the CMYK color here on the screen looks different from the RGB color. But when you print it out, when you print it on paper, it will look like exactly the red color that we see from the screen here. Because we're looking at the color on the screen, so the RGB color is red color right now. The CMYK color looks different. But again, when you print it out, it will be the same. Also, if you want to keep it to the swatch, you can edit the swatch and check swatch here. This is the CMYK color for the USC red. USC also specify that a spot color, PMS 201C. So if you say I want to use a spot color for USC, and then you can go to color panel, choose not lab. Let's see CMYK again. Okay, So that is something you can't do from the color panel. We have to use the swatch. So let's go to swatch, a new color swatch, and see, you can actually create a CMYK from here. But right now we're not going to create a CMYK color. We're not going to create a process color. We're going to create a spot color. Color model is PMS, Pantone's MS. Didn't see PMS. Let's see what PMS stands for. So it's Pantone matching system. I didn't see it here, but let's see if we use Pantone solid coated. Normally we use that. Pantone (201). Here is 201. So you can see this is the color that this is the spot color that we're trying to find. Say OK. Now we create a Pantone red, and that's the spot color for USC official color. Now you get an idea of how to use color panel or swatch panel to create RGB color, CMYK color, and spot color. And when we talk about color, there's another panel that's also very useful, which is the gradient panel. So click gradient panel, see what we can do with gradient. We have this star here for colors. Let's copy it. I'm selecting it, press Option, drag it. That way we can copy it. Now let's select this one. We're going to create a gradient color for it. And now you can see I already created a gradient color and use it for this star. So the gradient color looks like this. We have two types of gradient color. One type of gradient color is called linear. So all the colors you added to the gradient just go one way. If you want, you can also choose radial, and that way all the colors goes surround the center. And how many color added to the gradient color? Now I have, you can see I have a red, yellow, blue, and shallow blue. I have 4. If you want, you can add one. How do you add one? You simply click here, add a color stop, and then go to color panel, choose any color you want. We can choose, let's say we can choose a red See, we add a red over here. If you go back to the gradient panel, you will see you add a red here. And if you want to delete any of those colors, simply drag it and you delete the color. And now those two red are too close, you can drag it and delete another color. You can also move the stop to decide how much color you want to use. If you want to change any of those color, let's say you want to change this blue into yellow, click and select it, go to color panel, choose yellow, and see if you go back to gradient, you will see that this color stop has been changed to yellow. And if you want the red to be on outside and the yellow to be in the middle, simply click this one, and so you can switch which color is on outside. Go back to linear, you can change the set of the gradient. If you want to add another color here, again click and add a color stop and go to color panel and add a, let's see, this color. And then looks like the leaning color is not very good for the star, so we want to go back to the radial color, the gradient color. And if you feel this is beautiful, you want to keep this gradient and just put your cursor on the sample color, press Ctrl click, you will see add to swatch, and then add it, go to swatch, you will see the gradient is here. When this thing is activated, the swatch panel has several icons here. If you activate this icon, it shows all the color, including the colors and the gradients. And if you activate this one, it will only show the colors. All the gradients are not shown here. If you click this one, it will only show the gradients, and all the colors will not be here. So again, technically you can just use the swatch color. Professional designers always use swatch color, the swatch panel, because the swatch panel can help you to save all the colors that you created. But if you want, you can also use color and gradient panel also. Well, that's the let's say if you created some colors in one document and you want to use it in another document, you can go to the menu, load, click load swatches, and then you select the previous InDesign document. All the colors that you created in the other InDesign document will then be loaded to the new InDesign document so that you can use it. And that's one thing you want to know. Let's say spot color and process color are different. Well, we can see a let's see the differences between a spot color and a process color. Let's import a photo so that I can help you to see the differences. Make it smaller. I pressed Shift when I'm doing that because so that I will not distort the photo. And now the frame is small and the content is big. You see, the content is too big. I wanted the content to fit the frame, and so they just click that. It will fit the frame. You see that the photo is here. This is using a, let me see, it's a spot color. So this star uses spot color. This one uses process color, and this photo clearly is process color. So if you go to view, go to Window, Output, Separations Preview. Now it's off. We let it on, Separations. You will see all the colors that you used in this document are listed here. We have CMYK, and we use the Pantone color. So all the colors you used in the document right now is in here. And if you click this eye, then that color will be hid. It's still in the document. It's just hidden from our view. And if we had all the CMYK, then all the photos, objects use CMYK color are gone. You can't see it. You can only see the color that is not using CMYK. And this star again is using the spot color. And if you had that color also, we didn't use that color. Clearly, we use this Pantone color. So if you had that one, then this one is also gone. Those two colors are also here, but nothing use them. So if you had them, it doesn't really make a difference. It's interesting. Looks like this spot color also use that color. So that's spot color. Now CMYK, when you print something using CMYK colors, it's called process color because normally when you print anything using CMYK colors, they go through 4 processes. First of all, so nothing is here. First of all, they print on cyan, and this is how you're going to see when the first process is done. And then the second time they're going to print the magenta. This will be how you will see when the second process is done. And then you have the third process. It's not done yet, so you have the fourth process. Now you have the clear photo. And that's how the full color printing is done, is printed. Like I said, even though you have thousands of colors in this photo, the printer will just go through 4 processes. That's when you use the process color, the CMYK color system. If you use a spot color to create this photo, it can be very expensive because you may need thousands of spot colors to create this thing. Well, the advantage of a spot color is that when you just print one single color stuff, and like the university color, then spot color will be better because it lasts longer. It's cheap because you just print one color. Now, sometimes when you want to just use one spot color to save money, but you want to have some change, some variation, you can create a tint. And so make the impression that you have used different colors, but it's still one color. It just has different tints. How do we create the tint? If you want to create a tint for a single color, you just go to we needed to select that color first. So let's select it, and then go to New Tint Swatch. And see, right now is 100%. Let's say we're going to create a 20%. Add. Now we have a tint, and you can select this. Okay, let's finish creating those tints. And now we created a 20%. Let's create a 50%. You can't add it, so press Tab. Then you can add it. We add a 15%. And let's get a 80%, 50%, I'm sorry. Let's get a 80%. Press Tab again, add it. Now we're done. So we have 3 tints created from this Pantone 201C. Let's select this star, or we can drag and create new stars. Select this one, give it a tint. Select this one, give it a tint. This tint is better than this one. Maybe we can give it an 80. So you can see, even though you just use one color, it has some variation here. So if you just put those 3 stars on one document and print those 3 stars out, you only pay the money for one color. That's still the Pantone 201C. Make sure that you do not put those 2 documents here because they use 4 colors. Also, sometimes you may have a little bit more money to pay 2 Pantone colors, and in that case, let's say your client has a little bit more money, so you can use this Pantone color and this Pantone color, and in that case, you can create a extra more color. You can actually mix this Pantone color and this Pantone color and create a new Pantone color. How do we mix the Pantone colors? You only mix the spot color, not the process color, CMYK colors. So when we want to create a Pantone mixed color, we go to New Mixed Ink swatch. Select the 2 spot color that you want to use to create the mixed color. Let's see, Pantone 201C and Pantone 329C. You can use 100% of both, or you can use 100% of this one, 50% of this one, whatever you want to do. Now let's just create a mixed color from 100% of both. Say OK. And this is the new color that we've created. It looks like this. So if you can pay money for 2 spot color, and actually you can use 3 colors in that publication. Well, not actually 3. You can use hundreds of color if you can create a group of mixed color. How do we create a group of mixed color? We go to the menu here again. New Mixed Ink group. So again, we need to select those 2 original spot color. And let's say initially we want to start it with 0%. Repeat it 10 times for both. And each time increase to 10%. If you preview the swatch, you can see with those 2 spot colors, you can create a, how many of them? This is the 121 mixed colors. And they are all different. So we can actually add them here. You will see that our swatch panel are much longer right now because you use those 2 spot color, created hundreds of colors. And you can choose any of them. See a lot of variations. And when you use those group of mixed color, and when you print it out, again, you only pay the money for 2 colors. That's the 2 original colors. And that's an advantage of using spot color. You can use 2 spot color and create mixture of color, and then produce some variations while at the same time same monies. That is the basic thing of chapter 12. In chapter 13, first of all, it talk about 2 different types of photos. One type of a photo is called, the textbook called a raster images. Raster images are resolution-based images. Like this photo is a image. It's a resolution-based image. It's very clear when you make it this size. But let's see what will happen if we enlarge it. We somehow add a field to the content. And now we can close this thing right now. Let's fit it to the frame. It's still it looks still good, but you can see some places shows a little bit of blur. And if you continue to enlarge the photo, let's say we're going to make this, we're going to times 2 for both, and then fit the photo to the frame, and when you look at it, it's not that clear. So these photos are again called raster images, raster photos. They are resolution based, and you can't enlarge them unlimitedly. You have to make sure that they have enough resolution. We do not need that big, so let's make it smaller. Shift, it's too big, trying to so just to make it smaller. So this is again the example of REST image. Those images created in Photoshop or Illustrator, and this or this, those stars, those are called those are resolution independent images. They are called vector images. Those images are not resolution based. So let's say no matter you make it how small or how large, let's make this star very large. Select it. Times 10, let's say times 10 for 100 even. Oh, it's quite big, I guess. So that's why it's gone. Times 10, let's. That's too big, so we just want to times 3. Let's see, it's here. So when you see the edge anywhere, it is still very clear, nothing blurred when you look at the photos. Now when you see on the InDesign, normally InDesign will give you just a typical display, which means the display may not be very clear. So when you are working, InDesign give you a typical display so that it will not use a lot of spaces on your hard drive. If you were working with photos, you may want to go to view display performance and choose high quality display. That way you will see the photos even clear. And when you look at the this star, nothing blurred. So vector image never changed when you rescale it, but rest images like the photos, they always change when you when you make it very large. It may be very blurring. It's not very clear. So that is something that we want to know. Second thing we want to know is that let's make this star to the original size. The second thing is that you want to know is that when you create a star like this into InDesign, it is part of InDesign, so you never need to worry about it. But when you use Command D to place a photo like this into InDesign, it is actually not really in InDesign. The photo is still in where it was before you placed it into InDesign. And if you just send this InDesign document to someone else, when they open this InDesign, they will just see a frame here. They will not see the content of this photo. Because again, the photo is not part of the InDesign document. And to make sure that the photo is, like we said, it's not a part of the InDesign document. It's just linked here. You can see it, but it's not over here. So if you go to Window, find the Links panel, and you will see that it's linked here. If you click here, it will give you the information of this photo. What color system it uses. Of course, it uses RGB because it's on the screen right now. But when you print it out, actually it should be CMYK system. When you modify it, scale, we are just using 50% of the original scale. So it gives you some information here. Right now, it looks everything is fine. But let's say if we go back to the photo original place, well, I guess we used this photo. Let's move it to another folder and go back to InDesign. And if you go to the link, you will see a question mark here. The question mark means InDesign is telling you, well, I see you're using this photo here. I just don't know where the photo is right now. So you need to, in this case, you need to click the question mark, and or you can click here, choose relink to the folder, and see we put that photo on desktop, so we can just go to here, see if we can find it. Not really kind of folder, I guess. We probably need to relink to the you double click the question mark, it will allow you to find it, I guess. Where's the photo that we used? Not that one. Here, beautiful. Here it is. So if you say OK, open it, and the question mark is gone. That means InDesign says, oh, okay, I find it right now. So when you send a InDesign document, before you print a InDesign document, you want to check here there's no question mark, because if there's a question mark, that means InDesign can't really find this photo, and when you print it out, chances are it's just an empty frame here. sometimes InDesign can give you another symbol. Let's say if you, here is the photo, the original photo. If you edit it, you rescale it, you crop it here from other software, and then in that case, if you go to the link, there will be a exclamation mark here. That means InDesign is telling you, yeah, I see you are using this photo here, but the original photo has been changed. Do you want to update or not? You want to update in that case. Okay, let's put this photo back to the folder so that I can find it later on. Where's my photo folder? Okay, I'm going to do it later on. Now you know that you need to work with the link panel before you really print it out so that the photo is there. Actually, like I said, in some cases, if you say, well, the reason that InDesign just link the photo to the document, it does not really import the photo in the document, is that the size of the photo normally is very big. So InDesign again want to save the space. They do not want to make the InDesign document very large. But in some cases, you say that I will use this photo very often, and the photo itself is not very large. I want embed that photo into the InDesign document. If you are sure you want to do that, you just select the document, the photo, and go to the link panel and go to menu, say embed link. In that case, you will never worry about losing this photo. It will always be part of the InDesign document. But again, normally you do not want to do that because it can make your InDesign document very large. You want to make sure that the photo that you want to embed is only a small photo. It does not really take a lot of spaces. One more thing about printing the document. When you get the document done and you want to print it, let's say you want to send it to the printer somewhere in Houston, in Dallas, or in Austin. You do not just email the InDesign document. Instead, because if you just email the InDesign document, when it goes to the other computer, your design may be dramatically changed, and something will be missing, and you do not want that to happen. So you, instead of just email your InDesign document, normally you want to do a package. And when you do a package, it will report something. It will report what font you're using. And we did not have any text here, so the font is 0 here. And what photo you use, the links. I don't know why we didn't see the link here. Maybe there's no problem. Oh, okay. The photo is not in the document. It's in the pasteboard. That's why I didn't have any link for this document. And then the colors and the print settings, and those are the things that you want to check. And then once everything is ready, you just package it and save it on to somewhere. Then when you send your document to the printer, you better send the package rather than just an InDesign document. Of course, instead you can simply export it into a PDF document and send your PDF document to the printer if your project is finally done. In some cases, you may want to send the package to the printer so that they can make the final revision. And those are two options. And in our case, normally when you want to export it into a PDF document. So let's move everything to the document. Things on the pasteboard will not be printed out. So let's move everything to the document, make it a document. and then export to PDF, print. Since we use process colors, not really RGB colors, so it's good. Sometimes you created a process color and then you export it into an interactive PDF, the color will be totally different. So make sure that when you create the document, your intent is the same when you finally use it. So let's save it. You have some choices here. You have those same choices when you print it out. Right now we are exporting the document into PDF. But when you're trying to print it out, you have the same choices. And in the general part, you can choose whether or not you're going to print it out as a page or as a spread. We're going to talk about what is a spread later on. And you have other choices here. And we want to talk about the printer's marks. So let's choose printer's marks here. And you get to choose whether or not you're going to print the bleeding part. We do not have bleeding setting here, but if you have, you may want to check that. Whether or not you're going to print the slug area or not. We do not need to worry about that because we didn't create a slug area here. So we check the all printer's marks, and we're going to print it out. Here it is. Notice that this PDF document is different from our regular PDF document because it has the marks on the four corners. Here, the marks. And those are something normally you do not have. Those are called the printer's marks. It tells you something. This is the color bar. You can compare the color you created and you use the object, are they the same or not. This is the registration mark. It tells you whether or not in the full process, color printing process, whether or not the full process are in exactly the same position or not. If if it's off registration, then the photo will blur, like the full process are not in exactly the same position. So you will see kind of like a shadow of the photo in that case. Normally when you see a newspaper that is not well printed, you will see the colors are off registration. And this is the registration mark, it will tell you that. This is the crop mark. It tells you when you print this out, you need to use the printer actually has the devices that will cut the margin from here. This is the top margin that will cut this set from here. If you have a bleed design, then there will be another cutting mark, bleed cutting mark here. And this is the time that this document is created. And this is the name of the title, name of the document. Since we didn't really name it, so it's called entitled. Notice is in the cutting area. So when you finally cut this document from this cutting mark, cutting line, then those information will be gone because those are just something for your reference. I think we've covered everything in chapter 12 and 13. Again, looks like chapter 12 and 13 are talking about something that is not really related to designing with InDesign. It's about how you print those stuff out. But that's actually the most critical process. No matter how beautiful your work is when you design it on a computer, but when it's printed out, if it is a mess, everything is ruined. So you want to make sure that your beautiful design is printed out in the exactly way that you want it to be. So that's why you need to understand the content in chapter 12 and 13. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.